move away. Right, so it says it's setting up the meeting now. And we're live on Facebook. It's just come up on my screen, so I'm just coming back to you. Say hello, Paula. We got there at last. Ladies, apologies for the slight delay caused by technical hitches, both in the shop and in my ability to work out how to go live on Zoom. But thank God I have my website woman here with me to put me right. So this
is no help at all.
So ladies, this is Paula, and I was trying to think on my mad rush home when we actually first met, and I think it was when your partner Pat came back from Australia about a decade ago.
Yeah, it's probably even a bit longer than that. I think it's probably about 14 years ago, I think.
Oh my God, that long?
Well, we do it by how old the dog is, because the dog was around.
No. So how old is that dog?
She's coming up 14, so she's getting a bit tatty and deaf, and it's like, oh God, it's that long.
I can't believe she's so small, because is she a teacup, Yorkie?
Well, yes, yeah, she's quite a tiny one.
So really, she should have pegged it years ago.
Well, I think they're quite long-lived, so she's doing well. She's a bit arthritic in one leg, but apart from that, she's fine.
Right, ladies, so this is Paula. Last time I fiddled with the Facebook bit, it meant that the Facebook thing came on live. So what I'm going to do, ladies, is ask you, so I don't interrupt it again, to ask questions, and I will go through the questions at the end. Unless I just quickly push the picture. No, that's what I did wrong last time. So, oh God, I hope I haven't just turned the live bit off. Is it still here? No, we're still going. Right, so hi, I can see we've got people watching. Oh, actually, now I'm in the right bit, I think, to answer questions, Paula. But if I don't answer the questions, it's because I don't want to bugger it up again. Right, so what we're going to do first is talk about websites, because that is how I met you. And I can remember saying to you, Paula, but the problem is I'm not interested in these. And
you hated social media and you weren't going to do that.
I know. And now I live on the bloody thing. Here we are. So you have educated me over the past 10 years. And what I think is really brilliant about you, and this is for others who might be considering having a website built at the moment, is Paula builds it and then teaches you how to do it yourself, because she doesn't want you ringing her every 35 seconds. And that is quite unusual, isn't it, Paula, that you do actually educate us?
Well, yeah, I think it's important for you to know how to look after the website, especially it's become really important in the last year, and especially e-commerce. You can't keep paying someone to do work on it. You've got to sort of take ownership and learn how to put your products on, how to do the SEO, how to market it. It's that, you know, you've got to be doing that sort of work with your website, or it's not going to be successful. They are hard work, and you know, you've got to put the effort in. So.
As you said to me when we first started on this journey, there's no point just building a website and expecting people to come to you, Sarah.
No, nothing happens. Then I get the phone call moaning that I'm not #1 on Google or something. It's like, well, have you done any marketing or promotion? Or, yeah, no, you have still got to do all those sort of things. It doesn't just happen. So.
But you do the SEO for me, because that's way beyond my pay grade. Yeah. Right, well, so you've built my website, you've built Rob's website. So ladies, if you want to see another great website, go over to www.scottsfieldport.co.uk, where you can not only see what a brilliant job Paula has done, but also Pat, who does the photographs. It is a lovely website, I must say. You've done us proud on both of them. But what you really like doing is brewing, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, that's a nice job, that one. So, it's a lot easier than websites.
So that's why we're talking to you in your pub kitchen in the Chequers in Gaisley, which is a pub just outside Newmarket.
Yeah, closed like everyone at the moment. So yeah, finding other new things to do and figuring out how to survive.
So what makes your pub so different from everybody else's?
Well, we brew our own beer. That's the big thing. And would you like me to give you a tour of the brewery?
Oh my God, yeah, that'd be brilliant. I can't believe it's not in the kitchen anymore.
I know,
This is news to me.
It was up until middle of last year. We had a fairly small brewing equipment that did fit in the commercial kitchen, which I'm sitting in at the moment, which is quite a big room, but it meant we couldn't do food in the pub. So we've had sort of outside caterers and we have food trucks at the pub. So now we're going to be able to start doing a bit of our own food because we have moved. I'm going to flip the camera around here. The brewery has now got its own building, which you can just see in the car park, and a shipping container that we spent the summer lockdown converting and installing. So if you'd like, I can pop out there and...
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. And these food trucks that you have pulling up when you're open, which if we pretend we're outside of lockdown, you're open from Thursdays through to Saturdays?
Through to Sunday, we do Sunday lunch as well.
Oh, okay. And then
So
these food trucks.
Well, they're starting to expand now. They're even wanting to come on Wednesday because people are just so desperate not to have to cook. They are, right, I'm hoping we've still got the internet.
You've frozen a bit, but we can hear you. So whilst you're wandering over there, what about these food trucks?
Yeah, we've got probably getting on for about 10 different ones who will come and park up outside the pub so people can still come and get their food. Yes, great at the moment because everybody's bored with their own food, cooking at home. So yeah, and they're all doing the takeaway food at the moment while we're closed, but I'm hoping still got the internet here. So
keep going.
You'll have to shout if I disappear.
Well, what I'll do is I'll talk constantly, which is a complete hardship for me. And then if you can't hear me, you know you've lost the internet. You've done a grand job there, Paula. You are frozen now. Can you hear me? I think you're going to have to come back because we've lost you.
Yeah, I think I've just got you back. I think we're at the far reaches, but perhaps that hopefully the view through the door will give you a bit of an idea of, so we've got a bit of a reflection there.
And what got you into brewing?
It was probably a trip out to Australia with Pat. We went around some of the bars there and the beer scene was so different to here. Very much probably like the American scene, all the craft beer, totally different to sort of your traditional English bitter. And I started to really enjoy the beers then, which, just traditional bitters to me were a bit boring. And yeah, there's a whole world of different beer styles out there beyond just traditional English beers, and so I tend to make a lot of Belgian style beers.
That's what I was going to say. They're really like the fruit Belgian beers, aren't they?
Yeah, I did quite a few sort of fruity ones like that, and probably the lime saison is the thing that most people have really learnt to love and come out to the pub with. It's quite strong and some quite funny stories on that one. Either that or doing really sort of hoppy American sort of style IPAs, which they've really caught on here now. So people have got quite familiar with the hoppy beers. You can get them in the supermarkets and things now. So that's got a lot more mainstream. But yeah, just making different things, do a chocolate milk stout that everybody loves, wheat beers, make those. So yeah, just trying all different things really. So I just like exploring different flavours and things you can do with beer.
And I think the great thing is that, you can, as I am the nominated driver and we live about 40 minutes away, I can quite happily sit in the pub all evening nursing about a third of a pint because it's a really nice drink. You don't want to just sort of open your neck and knock it back.
No, they're they're not really sort of session beers. It is more continental style, and we do serve in thirds of a pint. So, I mean, quite a few people come in and just go for 4 different beers. So they've only just had over a pint, but can sort of try all different beers. And yeah, quite happy. We'd rather people went for something that's probably a bit more expensive, but yeah, have a third. You don't have to have pints of it. And some of them are quite strong. So we have had beers that we will only sell in thirds. Last Christmas, I did do a beer that was 14%.
Oh my goodness
so
me.
We did only sell that in thirds.
And are you canning beers at the moment so that people who perhaps live within driving distance can actually taste your beer during lockdown, or is that not happening at the moment?
I think they're back again.
Did you miss that? Sorry, we've got a really dodgy internet at Paula's end and a non-existent internet in Swaffham, which is why I'm at home. And Paula keeps dipping in and out. So did you hear my question about canning? Can people actually get cans at the moment, or is that not really working out at the moment?
We're doing a few. We went mad through the summer, the last lockdown, or the first lockdown. We bought a canning machine because we've got loads of beer, and we was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We've got to sell this. And had people just coming up to the window, so we were allowed to sell for takeaway. Unfortunately, this lockdown, we're not allowed to sell takeaway. So that's really put the mockers on things quite drastically. So I'm not brewing a huge amount at the moment, but yeah, putting a few cans out every week, which we're delivering just within the sort of couple of mile radius. So to the regulars who know what they want, we usually get a message of desperation for something, so we'll can some bits and pieces and drop it round to them. So
all the Artichoke girls listening are going to have to wait really till after lockdown. And ladies, if you don't live nearby, but you are travelling to Norfolk or Suffolk, this is a great place to spend one of your evenings. I mean, it is brilliant, Paula, what you've done.
Well, it's good fun, because I think it's we didn't want to turn ourselves into a restaurant, which can kind of happen with pubs. Once you start doing food, you have to run as a restaurant, really, and it loses some of that, the flavour you get of a drinking pub. And we wanted to keep that sort of social aspect. Yeah. And doing this sort of street food with the food vans, it has kept that nice feeling, really, that people can grab their food from outside and come in, still come when you're allowed to come back up to the bar and sit with someone from outside your household. It's really sociable. It was really good fun. We've got big tables, people got to know each other and all muddle in, and it's good fun. So hopefully one day that will all come back. But
definitely, because it is a proper boozer, isn't it? That that it is, that's what it is. You're right.
Oh yeah, but you can eat. There's food there if you want it, but it's still got that atmosphere of being somewhere that you can just go and have a drink and bump into your neighbours or chat to someone, and yeah.
So what are you doing if you're not brewing then? I can't believe it. Paula told me yesterday. What have you taken up during lockdown?
Well, what better time of year in the winter and freezing conditions to start making gelato? I don't know. I just had this mad idea that I wanted to learn how to make gelato. And so I've spent the last couple of weeks making gelato. It's really good fun. So it gives me some way of making something, exploring flavours and things, which I was doing with the beer. And we've been dropping samples around to sort of neighbours and locals and getting really good feedback. So they're quite boozy ones. And the rum and raisin has gone down best so far, because I don't people think we could get quite that much rum into a raisin.
And that's my favourite.
Do you know how many people of all, just asking people what they want me to make and what flavours do they like. It's the rum and raisin is the one that keeps on and on.
That. Rum and raisin ice cream is my top favourite. So you're doing that in your kitchen now, you've got it back.
Yep.
And then in your spare time, you spin and dye wool.
Yeah, the spinning wool I really do for fun, because I just like making daft stuff that is a bit unusable, really. Just sort of it's some people like to do yoga. I like to spin wool. It's one of those things you can just sort of lose yourself in and switch off and suddenly go, oh my lord, there's like 2 hours have gone by, and it's just really relaxing and fun. But yeah, I'm quite keen on all the fibre things. So knitting, I've always knitted for years and years. And then I got into hand dyeing yarn, and that was a long time ago. And it was because of doing that and wanting to sell it was probably how I got into building the websites, because I realised I was in the middle of nowhere and I wanted to be able to sell this yarn. So I thought, oh, maybe that internet thing will be a good idea. And it was a time when there was nobody, you couldn't find someone to build you a website, or just go and get one off the peg or anything. You had to learn how to do it yourself. So I just sort of got the books and started studying. And you did have to buy a book then, and you couldn't buy it from Amazon because there was no Amazon. So you had to go to a bookshop and buy a book to learn.
Oh my God, was there life before Amazon?
Yeah, unbelievably, yes. But so studying books and learning how to write the code, and did actually manage to build a website and got a picture on the internet. I was quite proud, and a form to work. And then I managed to build the buttons so that people could buy stuff, and sort of sat with, I think we did have, my sister and I were working together at the time, when we said we had a bottle of bubbly in the fridge, and we said, when we get the first order, and it was in there for a long time, believe me, it was months and months, till one day I was like, you're not going to believe it, I've got an order. And yeah, that was went from there. Once I'd started doing that, then people just started asking me, particularly other craftspeople and small businesses, like, how did you do that? I need to be able to do that. So started building for them, and that took over more and more of my time from sort of dyeing the yarn. And so yeah, it was sort of learning to do the SEO for myself, and how to get things found on the internet before Google. And yeah, it was that long ago. And then when Google came along, that was such a big thing, to be able to have a search engine to find things, because before then, unless you knew an address to go to, you couldn't find things. So that was quite a big thing. And then immediately it's like, well, how do I get to be found by Google? So I had to learn that. And so it's been building up knowledge over a lot of years, which has stood me in good stead, particularly last year when we had to move everything online. We were able to do that with the pub, to get the beer sales online immediately, and booking systems for when we had to have all seated customers and things. So it's just been absolutely vital in the last year.
Yeah. So the website, if people are interested in talking to you about building websites, that is www.flyingpixel.co.uk. And I'll put that in, when I do the publishing thing, I'll put that in. The pub is www.the Chequers.
No, you need to go to Munson's for that, which is the name of the brewery, which munsons.co.uk.
So that's munsonsbrewery.co.uk.
Yeah.
And then the spinning is the Yarn Gallery.
That's it.
And are you going to show us any of your work?
Yeah, I can do that. Hopefully I don't lose the internet again.
But you shouldn't go on the other side, should you?
Well,
and ladies, can you believe that this woman, does she ever sleep? Can't believe you do. I thought I was busy, Paula, but you and Pat just put Rob and I to shame. I think you're the only people who are busier than us. Oh God, this is bad.
Right. This is, well, we're in the main bar of the pub at the moment, which you can see is sort of been sort of bit pulled to pieces. So we're trying to do some change around and tidy up.
Have you got those batty things that were in, near the bar? Have they gone into the brewery bit?
Yeah, nearly. There's one small fermenter is here in the bar, but yeah, everything has now gone back out into
I thought it looked really
the
nice
bar.
that behind the bar.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was
It's all gone now.
Slightly different way of serving now, but yeah. So the bar's all changed. It's a bit ripped out at the moment because I've nicked the coffee machine for myself for the next month. The next month, I'm having a cappuccino if no one else is. But anyway, here's the hand-dyed yarn, which is now all over the pub table. So
do you spin this, or did I get that wrong?
These ones I haven't spun. These ones I'll buy from a mill somewhere, so all undyed. So it will look something like, here we go, I've got some undyed there, which somebody has just commissioned me to dye. So it'll just be the white raw yarn like that. That's just come from a mill in Shetland Islands, that one.
Okay.
But yeah, these are mainly merino you're looking at here. And in particular, these are sock yarns, so all sock weight, which like a 4-ply, if you knitted years ago, it would have been called a 4-ply. But there is now sort of a mad thing for knitting socks and sort of shawls or neck pieces, things like that, which people all use those. And these are some sort of the chunkier fun yarns, these thicker ones here. And I have also got, these ones are the really fine. This is like lace weight. There'll be about something like this one, about 800 meters of yarn in that. That's 100 grams. So you'd make quite a large shawl or a couple of small neck pieces out of one like that. This one's interesting. That fibre is blue-faced Leicester, which is like a native breed.
Actually,
so
Rob was asking if you want one of our shearling fleeces this year.
Oh, I'm really killed if I have another fleece somewhere. So we can hide it somewhere.
Oh, I'll bring it in. I'll
yeah.
surreptitiously leave it somewhere.
Yeah, I'll pretend it was the last one. That is the same one we always had. But,
yeah. How do you actually dye this? Do you buy in the dyes, or is it vegetable dye, or?
No, these are, they call them acid dyes. So they're sort of the dyes you'd use commercially. Acid refers to the fact you need an acid environment. So something like citric acid or vinegar. So really safe sort of chemicals. And it needs that heat and acidity. And that's what locks the colours into the fibre and makes them wash fast and gives you those sort of vibrant colours. So these are sort of commercial dyes that you wouldn't really get these sort of crazy sort of pinks and oranges and things from some of the vegetable dyes, or turquoises and things. So, but yeah, that's so that's the yes, and the very untidy pub where yes, hole in the floor cellar. Yes, we're doing some building work as well while we're closed. So it's quite an old building, quite a rickety old.
This bit is gorgeous, isn't it? And then the room next door where you've taken down all the plaster.
Oh, right. Okay, I can probably.
Do you think the Wi-Fi has spread that far?
No, and I may be using it.
There's a big hole. You're going to go into the cellar.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's no lighting in there at the moment. That room's all shut down.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, it's
so we're going to wander back to the kitchen.
I am. The heating's on in there.
If you want to ask Paula questions, ask away, and I'm sure she will log in later and answer them. Now she's back in her kitchen, having given us a guided tour of the pub, the brewery, her yarn gallery. The only thing we're missing is the gelato. Oh. Have you got any of that to show us?
It's most attractive frozen, but I can find out. There's some section.
Are you actually going to sell this, Paula? I mean, I know you want to sell it as puddings with the food trucks, but do you think that you'll develop this so that you will start shipping it?
Possibly, yeah. We'll need to get bigger equipment, but we're sort of looking at that. We've got madly. Probably somewhere about midnight last night, we invested in the waffle cone maker to go with.
Oh my God, I just don't believe it. You make sure you get my website sorted sorted out now before you go off on yet another project in the summer when you're brewing, you're serving beer, you're making gelato. You are
that was a slightly mad purchase that may have been wine fueled. No, I think it kind of makes sense because we were thinking about looking at the pots you can serve it in and everything, and what you should have biodegradable and trying to be environmentally friendly. Well, I thought, well, actually, if we make the container and you can eat it, well.
Oh, that's one of my favourite bits.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. And what you could at the moment, the gelato I'm making has got egg in, it's got egg yolks in anyway, so I've got a surplus of egg whites, and if you make the waffle cones yourself, you use the egg white in that, and you can flavour those. And I thought, actually, that's going to make it a lot more interesting in terms of a dessert and ice cream if we can make the own.
Oh, that sounds fun! I can't wait. I cannot wait to try them.
Yeah, what have I done so far? I've done a rhubarb and ginger, a spearmint and lime. I do like lime. Oh, I've done a lemon meringue. Lemon meringue cheesecake gelato, so that's got a soft cheese in it as well. That's turned out really well. Pretty mad chocolate one. I realised you can put too much chocolate in ice cream after the first attempt, so I've redone that one. I've done another lime one, and it's got ginger nuts and chocolate in. That turned out quite nice as well, so I've tried all of them. We've just done one of a Kahlua, a chocolate and Kahlua, so a little bit of alcohol is quite nice in the ice cream. And I've just found a recipe for a milk stout ice cream, so I'm going to try making one with beer.
That sounds revolting. I won't be bothering with milk stout, thank you.
Oh,
well, Coronation Street, them sitting in the corner.
No.
I think her name was Amy something or other. I used to watch it with my nana. Now, we've been through her 4 careers. Let's see how... Oh, my God, my phone's fallen over. So I'm not sure. Let me see how long we've been doing this. Okay, so we haven't got time for a full Meet the Artichoke Girls as we've been through your 4 careers. But the official interview begins now, Paula. So, diamonds or pearls?
Oh.
Look at the shock on her face.
God. I think it'd have to be diamonds.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Big knickers or small knickers?
Small.
Small, that's because you are such a small person.
Big knickers would be very, very big on me. They'd be up here, wouldn't they?
Yes, well, we're not going to talk about how much sick you make us because you're so thin. We're going to move swiftly on from that. Paula can't have anything from our shop because we don't go down to size 6.
Well, and I can tell you've got to get some short trousers in because I'm only 5'1" and nothing fits.
We do short trousers, but we only start at an 8.
Well, once I've done a little more gelato sampling, something might fit.
When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing on your mind?
Oh my God, what am I going to do? Make gelato, beer? Am I going to fix that website? It's just sheer panic every morning.
And this is funny. How would you describe your home?
A mess.
Yours is the only one that I know that's more dilapidated than ours.
It's not started leaking yet. As long as the rain doesn't come in, I can cope. I would love it to be nice. I have to, it is derelict upstairs. We haven't quite finished that bit. I have to take a lot of deep breaths when I go through certain rooms, but it's not started leaking or anything yet.
But do you have heating yet?
We have in a couple of rooms, and that's just like luxury, yes.
So I can come and see in the winter now.
You have to sit only in the kitchen. So the kitchen and the bedroom. Oh, and the loo. Yes. So it's the 3 important areas in.
What is your favourite colour?
Oh, cracky. God, that's a really hard because I spend so much time trying to create all different colours.
Yes.
I guess if I'm dyeing something, I do love doing the sort of autumny cut, but not for me personally to wear or something like that, but just if I'm doing, I love trying to capture those sort of real orangey pink colours and that you see in the leaves and those sort of things. That I love those colours.
So is autumn your favourite season as well?
No.
So what is your favourite season then?
Summer, just the hot.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about the heat.
I am with you on that one. Can you see that? It's not particularly warm in this house either. What was the biggest lesson that you learnt from your mother? That's why
She's never going to. I'm just thinking, is she ever going to see this? Well, I'm going to be kind to her here, and actually, I did always do baking with her and stuff growing up. I was always with the food mixer and making stuff, so I don't, baking things doesn't have any fear from me. So I'm quite happy to throw myself into things like that because she was always doing something, sewing or baking. So I guess just absorbing that's been good.
My mother was always baking, and I was allowed to do the washing up.
Oh, I was allowed to lick the bowl and choose which recipe I had to make. And I still do that.
Oh God, so do I. When I'm on that club. What 3 things are always in your handbag?
Oh God, everybody laughs if I empty my handbag because there'll probably be some big sort of sewing up needle thing, a key that I don't know what it fits anymore, a screwdriver, a tape measure.
So it's
I
big.
think I run out of the door. I think thinking, oh, I need to do that and make sure it fits. Throw it in the handbag, and until I buy a new handbag, it stays in there.
I do that. I just unpacked. Well, I've got handbags that I retake because, of course, I am a fashionista. So I actually found one under my bed last week that I'd obviously slung under there and completely forgotten about last summer, and realised I don't have to buy any more makeup for about the next 3 years because it's all in there. Which city would you most like to visit?
Ooh. Do you know, I haven't actually been to America. I would like to go over there and maybe see what New York's like, something like that.
New York's fab. I went there on my own, and unfortunately, the night I arrived, the cab driver shafted me and charged me $70 to get me to my hotel, and I'd just done a long haul from South America, so I was knackered and didn't have the energy to argue with him. I went to bed. And the next day, and it was in the 80s when it was really, really trendy to wear opaque tights and those sort of short boots and very short tartan shorts and opaque tights.
Sure, that was ever fashionable.
I forgot it was when everybody was doing those new romantic things. Anyway, I got up early. I thought, as the bees wandering around, and I didn't realise that although New York is a city that never sleeps, it doesn't get up very early either. So I was racing down the street to Macy's at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I got curb crawled. I have never run so fast in my life. So yes, after that, my wings were slightly clipped. But I thoroughly recommend New York. Don't go in a very short skirt or shorts.
Right.
What do you normally eat for breakfast?
Don't do breakfast.
You don't do breakfast? That's the most important meal of the day.
Don't do breakfast.
When do you start eating then? Now the jets are going over. They think this house is in Iraq. They're using us for bombing practice tonight. This is great, technically.
When do I start eating? I'm quite fond of 11s.
Oh, okay. So what do you have for 11s then?
Oh, something cakey. I'm a sucker for cake by that time of the day. If I'm being good, then I'll wait till lunchtime.
Okay. And do you have a family heirloom?
Yes.
Are you going to tell us what it is?
It's this great big table, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it.
Where is it now then?
It's at my mum's house at the moment. And,
Oh, okay.
I think I need to try and find a museum for it or something.
Can't you put it in the pub?
No, it's too good for that.
Can you physically get it upstairs into the flat?
Yes, possibly. Yeah, probably it would, but it doesn't really fit. It sort of needs to be in a stately home. It's rather grand. And I can't imagine ever owning a house where it would actually look not completely bizarre.
So you've got a fairly useless family heirloom then?
Yes, it's more of a sort of noose around my neck, really. It's like, oh God, I've got to look after it. What do I do with it?
You'll have to flog it and get a canning machine.
Yeah.
Who is the most famous person you've ever met?
Oh, do you know, I'm pretty convinced Harry Potter was here in the summer.
You're joking.
I know, we've had this argument though, where people going, yeah, I think it was. I'm going, no, I don't think it was.
Because you do get some famous people in that pub, don't you? Is it because it's so near Newmarket?
Oh, possibly.
Because it's posh Suffolk? Or
yes.
Suffolk.
Well, they all came out of London in the summer and we were like, no, don't bring COVID out here. We haven't got it yet. We were making them all sit outside. Don't let them in.
Yes, because who else did you have in there? I've forgotten. We were talking about last time I was over.
Yeah, I can't.
Was it the Aga Khan? Or am I getting confused?
Yeah, no, I don't think that was here.
It'll come back. It was somebody definitely very famous. What is the best part of your job? Are we going to go through all four?
Well, do steal the occasional ball of wool for myself from the shop. Do get to enjoy a beer occasionally, and no, we do actually have some really good laughs. I think it's probably the best thing. Pub thing can be. It can be hard work and a bit soul destroying sometimes, but you do get some really good moments of some very, very funny things. And last summer was actually really good, but just the sort of camaraderie of everybody outside and, you know, picnicking outside while we could sell all the takeaways, and yeah, that was quite special seeing.
And you never get bored, do you?
No. And if I do, then I'll just start another business. I'll think of something else to do.
Yes, right. So just moving swiftly on, so you don't get any more ideas.
Good.
Because I can't really imagine how you're going to actually physically do any more. What advice would you give your 13-year-old self?
Find one job and stick to it. Get a proper job with a pension and a salary.
Yeah, but you would have been bored witless. I keep thinking that, thinking, why didn't I get a proper job?
Yeah, you'd be furloughed.
I think you're sticking again. Can you hear me? I think technically something's gone very, very, very strange here. If Paul,
we're back.
Okay, so how many emails do you write each day?
It's not too bad at the moment. I'm probably only doing about a dozen.
What are you planning for next spring?
Next spring?
Well,
spring this year.
Spring that's coming.
Well, I'm hoping I'll have a thriving gelato business that we will probably be selling beer, and I can get outside again and get brewing, and I just want to be able to get going again.
This must be really awful for you.
It's frustrating.
You have a very low boredom threshold, don't you?
Yeah.
What question do you wish you were asked more often?
give you some more money for that. Could I pay you extra for that, please?
If you could have a date with someone living or dead, who would it be?
Oh, crikey. God, that's a toughie. I'm trying to think of somebody. It'd have to be somebody funny. It'd be amusing. God, you put me on the hop on this one. I used to be a big fan of Spike Milligan.
So
I don't know about a date. I don't know about a date. A dinner, just I'd love to meet him. That could be quite funny.
So Spike Milligan is that. Would you write a letter or a postcard?
Postcard.
What film made you laugh?
Shaun of the Dead.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Water, sparkling or flat?
Sparkling.
Favourite pudding?
Gelato.
Favourite cocktail?
God, well, not a cocktail drinker. I was doing so well answering up till now. You'd caught me on the booze one. I think I should be able to answer that.
Oh, that's why I asked it. I thought this would be easy. Do you not drink cocktails? Because I think they're revolting.
No, I just know it's, you know, I like a good beer or a good wine. And,
Right, so we will move on from that. Gin or fags?
Gin.
What is your favourite taste?
At the moment, it's lime.
You are obsessed with lime at the moment.
I'm lime, just citrusy things, lemon and lime.
What film made you laugh?
Oh, that was Shaun of the Dead one, wasn't it?
Oh, I've done that already.
You've done that one.
I didn't organise this in advance. I'm whistling through them. Now, I've just missed your last one. What would you never wear?
Oh, a foo-foo-y dress.
No, I didn't think you would.
Just any dress, really.
Thank you so much, Paula, for joining us. Thank you for giving us a guided tour of your 4 businesses. Thank you for answering all our questions. I am now going to try and work out how to end this meeting. So stop grinning inanely until you disappear. And I can't do that because I think I'm looking at you live. I can't find, oh God, Paula, I've lost the bottom thing. What
Should be a stop. I'm sure there's a stop button somewhere.
Yeah.
Stop.
I can't make it work.
Stop.
Let me just
stop. I want to get off.
I'm tapping everywhere. I think, can I get rid of it online so that then you can give me instructions? Oh God, Paula, we're going to be here all night.
Are you?
I found it. Something's just happened. End. I'm going to end it now. Thank you for joining us. I will. Oh,
You're
no,
welcome.
do you know what I wasn't doing? I wasn't bringing my cursor on the screen. That's how complicated it was.
It's normally something fairly simple. People phone in a panic. It's.
Can you tell that this woman has hysterical phone calls from me regularly?
It's like, have you plugged it in? Have you tried switching it off and on again?
So ladies, if you have been answering questions, we'll come back to you. Thank you so much, Paula, and we look forward to sitting outside your lovely pub with some Jamaican food. Is it Jamaican or Greenwich?
We get, yes, Jamaican, there's Greek, there's Neapolitan pizzas, we've got Sri Lankan coming up next month. Oh yeah, it's all sorts. It's something different all the time.
So we're going to have curry goat, a glass of beer and a gelato in the summer when they unlock us.
Yes.
Okay, my darling, thank you so much. I'm going to push the end button now. I will see you soon. Keep grinning inanely till I disappear.
Try to.